Who else? What other moves do you think the Niners will make this offseason?
I want it to be Linderbaum, but the way Kyle talks about Brendel, I don't see it. Because Kyle legitimately thinks Brendel is like a legit elite center. He seems to think he's really good. So I still think the Niners are going to try to make a splash for like a Dobbs or an Addison. Because I think what they're seeing is Debo would be like a Jawan Jennings replacement, not a wide receiver one. I
I
still
got a
don't think
bold
they'd see
prediction.
him as that. What?
The Niners will not sign an expensive free agent for the second year in a row. If they bring in someone big, it'll be someone who's already been on the team like Debo, or it'll be in a trade. And part of the reason is because they're cheap. And the other part of the reason is because that substation, baby. Tyler Linderbaum's going to have multiple offers, and he's not going to take the one with the substation.
Okay, so you're
And the
along
Niners are
the.
going to have real-world consequences about something that may or may not be true.
So you think they're going to go the Addison route then, I'm assuming.
I don't think that's their first choice, but I think it's one of their choices.
Who do you think's their first choice?
Debo Samuel.
Well, besides Devo. Like, because I genuinely think that, yeah, I think it'll be like.
No, honestly, I think they'll make a huge play for Max Crosby. I do think they will.
Why? What is our
Defense. It's
obsession?
what?
Why? Okay.
Why? I'm not saying it's the right thing to do. I'm not saying I would do it. I think they will do it.
Like, here's
I
my
think
thing.
John Lynch is under pressure. He hasn't gotten an extension. I think he wants to do something that gives him more job security and mortgaging the future and taking picks away from his potential replacement. Could do that. Also, bringing in an all-pro player could help his cause.
To your point, real quick, to your point about them should have hiring Salah. My thing is this, right? If they do, they make a big play for Max Crosby. Why do you still have an offensive head coach then?
I agree.
Why are all of your massive moves? Because all of the massive moves they make are defense. Javon Hargrave,
D Ford,
they go for
Travarius
Max
Ward.
Crosby. Yes,
Yep.
Travarius Ward, D
Nick
Ford,
Bosa,
Max
Fred Warner.
Crosby.
Yeah.
Like all of their massive. They were trying to get Trey Hendrickson. Like they are constantly trying to make massive defensive moves. Why do you have an offensive coach then? There have been a plethora of top-tier defensive head coaching prospects, and you
had one on the team twice, and D'Amico's as another one.
Yes, like you had Saleh twice, you had D'Amico. Mike McDonald was in a hiring structure 2 years ago after you guys did poor. Like, if all your moves are always going to be centered around, we need to make this defense great because we believe in Kyle to just make anything work. I feel like that's such a horrible logic to build a team around. Like, yeah, we're going to keep him so he gets the scraps, it keeps them average. And then we'll put all our money into defense.
Yeah, I mean, the whole thing, like bringing in Raheem Morris so that the offense doesn't have to bail out the defense. It's like, I thought the offense was supposed to be the driving force of the team. You spent all this money on the quarterback and the left tackle and the fullback and the running back and the tight end and now you need Raheem Morris to bail you out.
And
but yeah, I mean, if their big moves are going to be on defense this year again after dedicating their whole draft to defense last year, like what is the point of having an offensive coach, a guy who isn't involved on the defense, is looking at his play sheet when the defense is on the field?
Yeah, and that's like my big confusion is like I'm just not understanding it because Kyle, it's like, okay, he's this good with scraps. And like you said, they recognized it earlier in the year. George said it, like the offense is going to need to be better than defense. And then they weren't. They were consistently worse when they played the best teams. Like outside of the Bears, who the Bears didn't look that good. Like other than that game, the offense was constantly getting outperformed. It's like, well, Brock Purdy's PR team, hell of a job, man, because he will never get blamed ever in a million years. It's the line sucks, the weapons suck, Kyle sucks, the running back sucks. It's like, then put some money into it.
You know, it's funny in the Bay, there's something that happens a lot with these teams. Like they come close and they want you to know how hard they tried to get players. With the Giants, they're always like in the running. They're in the running for Aaron Judge and all these guys, and they don't get them. The Warriors were like were selling their fans on the hope of getting Giannis for years, and they finally gave up yesterday. And it feels like what the Niners are going to do is tell us that they tried to get Max Crosby, that they tried to get Justin Jefferson,
Yes,
that they
100%.
meant like they were going to really go after these, but they just, the teams didn't want to see the Niners shine. Teams were being haters, so they had to go back and get Deebo Samuel.
Like, that's my thing, right? Is I guarantee that's going to be true. They're going to let something like the Niners made a massive push for Justin Jefferson, but
the Raiders just wouldn't trade
Yeah.
Max Crosby to the Niners because Mark Davis hates the Niners.
Yeah.
But they made the best offer.
Yeah. We've
heard that one before.
I'm not understanding. I'm really not understanding the point of having someone like Kyle Shanahan, right? And everyone's saying, well, Kyle should be untouchable. Kyle this, Kyle that. Why is he not getting the money? Is it because they actually are scared? Like if they put all this money into Kyle's offense that he can't perform, or because then he has no one to blame, right? Say they do get him. Say in a dream world he gets Justin Jefferson and Joe Burrow, and his line's good, and his running back's good, and everything's great, and then they like still fall flat. It's like, and then what are you going to blame? Because you got everything. Like, I don't understand. I don't understand our philosophy and what we're going for. It makes no sense to me. Because, say they do get Max Crosby. Like, okay, so then on offense, we have no money, so we have to bring Deebo back.
I mean, honestly, let me say what they shouldn't trade for Max Crosby, honestly.
I agree.
It shouldn't. Because, I mean, if their quarterback was Sam Darnold on that contract, then you could talk about it.
Yeah.
But when you're spending this much on a quarterback, you can't have two of the most expensive defensive ends and the most expensive tight end and you kind of have to be cost effective everywhere else. And it's worth it because you have the best quarterback in the league, right?
Yeah.
But that's not what the Niners have. And that's why I'm rooting for the Seahawks in this game, because I don't like how the NFL, I mean, the cap goes up every year and all the money goes to the quarterback position, and it doesn't make any sense to me. And it would be nice for a team to just show the rest of the league, like, that's not the best way to build a team. Just giving all the money to one guy. It is the most important position, but you can win this way.
I forgot who said it, but it was one of the major networks. And they said something you and I have said since the Brock Purdy negotiation started, which was, unless you have a top 5 quarterback, you should not be paying a quarterback over $50 million. I forgot who said it. But it was someone, and everyone's like, dude, this is so true. I was like, we've been screaming this from the mountaintops. Like if you don't have a top 5 quarterback, your quarterback should be getting 30 mil in the 30 range or under. There's no reason Brock Purdy should have gotten 50-something million dollars ever in a million years, ever.
And what's so daunting is like now you have to catch the Seahawks. You gave Purdy this money, like kind of smugly being like, well, that kind of locks us in to be as being the best team in the division. Now you're not even close to being the best team in the division, and you got to catch this juggernaut. I mean, they won't be able to keep the team together forever, but for the next couple of years they will.
Yeah.
And just trading for Max Crosby doesn't get you that much closer to them. It's not how they built their team. I mean, their team is a bunch of their draft picks. They didn't give a bunch of draft picks away for one guy. They spent their draft picks and got them right, which is something the Niners haven't been able to do since before the pandemic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, right? If you trade for Max, you're looking at least 2 firsts and a second, probably. Bro, we can't draft. Like,
yeah, if you spend all your money on a quarterback, a receiver or two, and a defensive end, you know who you are? The Bengals.
Yeah, you have nothing.
Yeah, no one wants to be the Bengals.
You're hoping that Nick stays healthy, Fred stays healthy, Alfred College and CJ West become God, and then your safeties aren't ass. Like,
let me say one thing, though. If the money worked and you could just do a swap, I would much rather I would do this and then trade Bosa.
Oh, yeah.
But trading Bosa is complicated, and it would come with a bunch of dead cap, and they should really change that rule and encourage more trading and not discourage it. But, like, if they could do that, I would be all over that.
Yeah, if you could do an even swap Crosby for Nick, I'd say sure. But that's the thing is they don't. They want to pair him with Nick because they think they're going to be amazing. And it's like, then, well, where does Michael slot in?
My God. So when they don't get Max Crosby, you know who they're going to get instead?
Trey Hendrickson.
No. Joey.
Oh, God. No, they're not.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
He actually played well this year, though. I will say.
Yep. Yeah, but wait till he gets to this
Oh
substation.
no,
Baby.
yeah, he's gonna fall apart. He's gonna tear his Achilles the second he walks.
No, actually, I take it back. Joey's not signing with the Niners because I bet you the Bosa's buy that. I bet you they do. I bet you Nick doesn't want to play for the Niners anymore because of that
I
substation.
don't think. Well, Joey showed last year. I'm not taking a pay cut. The Niners only want him on a pay cut.
That's true. That's true, and he just played pretty well.
Like, dude, I just don't. I don't get it. It's just.
What about Kirk Cousins?
Sure, as a backup, why not? If you're going to
As a
trade
backup.
Mac for a draft pick, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only reason. The only way I see it happening is they trade Mac. But again, you're trading your best quarterback on the roster, which is silly.
No, let's stick with that for a second because people think you're being a troll. He may or may not be the best quarterback. Let's say he's not.
Sure, in a fantasy
He's
land.
so much cheaper than Brock. Like, is Sam Darnold better than Brock?
For the price?
Maybe not. Maybe not. But he's about to win the Super Bowl, and Brock didn't. And Brock was on a great team too. So I'm just saying, like, if you have a good starter with experience who's in his mid-20s and is willing to play for $30 million a year, that is
I'll
the
tell you
quarterback
right now,
worth having.
if tomorrow I could trade Brock, get rid of his contract, and sign Mac for 3 years, $75 million, I'd do it in a heartbeat.
Oh.
Then go crazy. Go get Max Crosby.
Yep.
Go sign Romeo Dobbs.
Yep.
Sign Tyler Linderbaum.
Yep.
Get them all. Because then, like, that was the thing I don't understand. The Niners had the formula. They did it with Jimmy. All right, let's just surround him with insane talent, and then we're good.
And this system, while imperfect, makes good quarterbacks look very good and makes mid quarterbacks look good.
Yeah.
We know this. It's been proven. And we haven't seen Brock without Kyle. So we don't truly know whether he's very good, or mid. You know, we did.
That's the thing is he was so bad that his draft stock was an undrafted free agent.
True.
Like, and now everyone seems to like have amnesia. Like, oh man, Kyle was nothing before Brock. Kyle or Jimmy's stats with CMC and Brock's stats with CMC are virtually identical. Like, it makes no sense to me. And then people will still swear, but well, he's better. Sure, he is a better athlete. But that's the whole point is you still get this. It's like Moneyball. You still get the same production out of this guy as you get of this guy.
The problem to me with Brock, and I don't know, it just seems like what the Seahawks did at the end of the season with Brock is take away his first read. If you know Kyle Shanahan's offense well enough and you can figure out where his first read's going to be and you can take that away and force Brock to go through his progressions, he's not quite tall enough. His offensive line isn't quite good enough. He doesn't have enough time. His receivers aren't good enough. He's going to start scrambling around, and he's not going to beat the best teams that way. He's not going to beat Seattle that way. So he needs to show, like Kyle, like people talk like McDonald has Kyle's number. Yes, or he has Brock's number. Brock needs to show that he can do something. Yeah, because we haven't seen Mac Jones against Mike McDonald yet, and I'd like to see that.
Mike McDonald has slaughtered Brock Purdy every time he's played him.
One time, except for one time.
What, the playoff game, right?
No, the first time the Niners faced the Seahawks in Seattle in 2024. That was like the fifth game of his tenure.
They were still terrible, and
they didn't have Ernest Jones yet.
Yeah. Like, but that's my thing is like Brock. They did the same thing. Like, and people were like criticizing the offensive line. Sure, when the Niners started getting booty blasted, the offensive line seems like they just gave up.
Is that a technical term?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. They coach that.
Yeah. But like the first like half, the offensive line was playing well. Like, they were playing fine. They were holding them up. Brock was just holding the ball forever. You're not going to hold Seattle like it's Madden for 5 seconds while you sit there and debate what you're going to do.
That's what kills me about Brock. He's been every year he's held the ball longer and longer, and it's a statistical fact. And his fans make so many excuses for him and want to provide context. And it sounds good, devoid of context. It sounds good when you're just talking about Brock, like, well, you know, the offensive line or the receivers, or the separation and this and that. But then Matt goes in with the same players and the same system, and he's getting rid of the ball in 2.6 seconds, and he's turning it over less. and he's not throwing as many touchdowns, but it's like, it doesn't seem like you have to hold the ball for an eternity
He's
in this
playing
offense
Jimmy
if
ball.
you choose to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, and
Okay.
that's my thing is like Mac was playing Jimmy ball, which we've already seen produces elite results. Jimmy
Yeah,
had
but
one
he
of
was
the most
playing Jimmy ball with the ability to
with a
actually throw
better
it down the
arm.
field, which
Yes.
Jimmy couldn't do.
And
And
that's
he
what
was
I'm
he was a
saying.
smarter. He's smarter than Jimmy.
Like,
He reads defenses better than Jimmy. He's more decisive. He's quick. I mean, better.
like what I'll say is if you put Mac, this year's Mac on 2019 Niners, they win that ring and it's not close. But like that's what I'm saying is like Mac was playing Jimmy ball. He was playing in Kyle's system. And he was like, I'm just gonna get rid of the ball quick. If I need to put it downfield, I'm gonna put it downfield. And that's it. That's all I need to do. I don't need to go crazy. Whereas Brock, like, for whatever reason, like against Cleveland, he did it so well. He was like, I'm just going to do what I need to do to get out of this game alive. And it was great. It was phenomenal. And then it was like, after that, it's like, oh, they're giving Kyle Coach of the Year credit. No, I need to show them why Lombardi's right and I'm MVP.